You see, life is very strange. You chase someone, they run faster. You hold on, they slip away. But if you sit still, untouched, suddenly they want to return. Why? Because human beings do not value what is freely given. So, should you help someone who is trying to lose you? Or should you let them go and watch what happens? Listen carefully. This may change the way you see relationships forever. You see, in life, the things we get easily, we stop appreciating. The water from a tap. We waste it. The air around us. We don't think twice about it. But let someone struggle for water in a desert, and every drop becomes a treasure. Let someone gasp for air, and suddenly every breath becomes sacred. The same principle applies to people. The more available you are, the less you are valued. It is not because people are cruel, it is just how the human mind works. What is rare is precious, what is abundant is overlooked. This is why a diamond is more valuable than a rock, not because it is better, but because it is not found on every street. Think about it in your own life. Have you ever chased after someone? Maybe a friend, a lover, a relative who kept pulling away. You call, they don't answer. You text, they reply late. You keep trying harder, and instead of appreciating your efforts, they become even more distant. But the moment you stop, the moment you shift your focus, suddenly they want to know where you are. Why? Because when something is always present, we take it for granted. But when it is missing, we finally understand its value. Look at your own childhood. As a child, you probably had food on your plate every day. You didn't think about it, right? You never really looked at the rice or the bread and thought, wow, I am so lucky to have this. But if you had ever gone hungry for a whole day, if you had ever seen a starving man on the street, you would know the real value of a meal. The presence of something makes us blind to it. Its absence opens our eyes. Now, apply this to your relationships. You pour your heart into someone. You give them your time, your attention, your love. But instead of being grateful, they begin to act as if they are doing you a favor by staying in your life. They make you wait. They respond when they feel like it. They don't prioritize you. And yet, the more they pull away, the harder you try. This is where you are going wrong. The more freely you give yourself, the less they see your worth. Look at the way society works. The most expensive brands in the world do not go around begging people to buy their products. You will never see Rolls-Royce doing a discount sale. You will never see a high-end luxury brand sending out flyers, begging customers to visit. Why? Because they know their value. They do not lower themselves to seek validation. They let the right people find them. But people do the opposite. They beg to be noticed. They lower their standards. They chase after those who do not see their worth. And in doing so, they become like a cheap item on sale, available to everyone, desired by no one. If you want to be valued, stop giving yourself away so easily. If someone cannot see your worth, stop trying to prove it to them. Step back. Let them feel your absence. Let them experience what life is like without your presence. And if they truly care, they will come back. Not because you forced them, but because they realized your value on their own. This does not mean you should become arrogant or play games. It simply means you should understand your own worth. A rare painting does not scream for attention. A masterpiece does not beg to be admired. It simply exists in its full glory, and those who recognize its beauty are drawn to it naturally. Now think of a time in your life when you lost something and only then realized how important it was. Maybe it was a person, maybe it was a job, maybe it was just a simple opportunity you ignored because you thought it would always be there. And when it was gone, you wished you had appreciated it more. This is the mistake people make in relationships every day. They assume someone will always be there. They take kindness for weakness. They mistake consistency for desperation. And when they finally realize what they had, it is often too late. So if someone is trying to lose you, let them go. Do not beg, do not plead, do not chase, whether they see it or not. And when you walk away with dignity, one of two things will happen. Either they will realize their mistake and return with respect, or you will make space for someone who truly understands your worth. Either way, you win. Imagine holding a handful of sand in your palm. If you grip it too tightly, it slips through your fingers. But if you hold it gently, it stays. This is how relationships work. The tighter you hold on to someone, the more suffocated they feel. And the more you allow them to breathe, the more naturally they stay. People confuse love with possession. They think that if they love someone, they must keep them close at all costs. They must monitor their every move, demand constant attention, and expect them to never change. But love is not a cage. It is a space where two people can grow. If you try to trap someone, they will want to escape. But if you give them the freedom to be themselves, they will stay, not because they have to, but because they want to. Think of a bird. If you trap it in a cage, it may sing for you, but it will never be truly happy. If you open the door and let it fly, it may leave, or it may return. But if it stays, it is because it chooses to, not because it has no other choice. Love should be like this. A choice, not a forced obligation. Many people destroy their own happiness because of attachment. They fear losing someone so much that they become obsessive. They want constant reassurance, constant validation, constant proof that the other person will not leave. But in doing this, they push the person away. No one wants to feel trapped. No one wants to feel like they are carrying the weight of someone else's fears and insecurities. Love should feel not heavy. Look at the way nature works. A river flows freely. The sky stretches endlessly. The sun rises without asking for permission. There is no force, no control, only movement and existence. When you try to control love, you go against the natural flow of life. And anything that goes against nature is bound to break. Have you ever seen a child playing? They do not hold on to their toys with desperation. They enjoy them. And when they are done, they move on to the next adventure. But adults cling to things, afraid to let go. They hold on to toxic relationships, dead-end jobs, and painful memories, all because they fear change. But what they don't realize is that freedom is where real love and growth happen. Think about a tree. It does not force its leaves to stay. When the season changes, the leaves fall, and the tree lets them go. It does not cry for the lost leaves because it knows that new ones will come. In the same way, people will come and go in your life. Some will stay for a lifetime, and some will only be chapters in your story. If you cling to every person, every moment, every situation, you will only bring yourself suffering. Attachment is not love. Attachment is fear. It is the fear of loss, the fear of change, the fear of being alone. And when you love from a place of fear, it is not love at all. It is dependency. True love is freedom. It is allowing people to be who they are without forcing them to fit into your expectations. It is trusting that if someone truly belongs in your life, they will stay. Not because you are holding them there, but because they want to be there. Have you ever noticed how people who chase others always seem to end up hurt? They text first, they call first, they give and give, only to feel unappreciated. Why? Because they are operating from attachment, not freedom. They are afraid that if they do not chase, they will lose the person. But in reality, chasing only makes the person run faster. Look at the most beautiful relationships around you. They are not built on pressure or control. They are built on mutual respect and understanding. When two people love each other with freedom, they allow each other to grow. They support each other's dreams without demanding sacrifice. They give without expecting. And because of this, their bond is strong, not out of need, but out of choice. If you ever find yourself holding on to someone too tightly, ask yourself, am I loving them or am I trying to own them? Am I giving them the space to be themselves or am I making them feel trapped? If you love someone, set them free. If they return, it is because they truly want to be there. If they do not, it means they were never meant to stay. Either way, you win. Because real love is not about possession. It is about presence. It is about allowing each other to be without fear, without force, without control. Everything in this universe moves with a rhythm. The rivers flow, the wind blows, the seasons change, and the sun rises without being forced. There's no struggle, no resistance, only movement. The entire existence is built upon the flow of energy, and when you align yourself with this natural flow, life moves effortlessly. But when you go against it, when you try to hold on to what is meant to leave or chase after what is not meant for you, suffering begins. Look at water. When it flows freely, it remains pure and fresh. But when it is blocked, When it is trapped in a stagnant pond, it begins to stink. The same happens with human energy. If you hold on to negative emotions, toxic relationships, or situations that are draining you, your inner energy becomes polluted. You feel heavy, exhausted, and stuck in the same place, wondering why nothing is changing. But nothing changes because you are resisting the natural flow of energy. Have you ever tried to force someone to stay in your life? Maybe a friend who no longer treats you the same, a partner who has emotionally checked out, or even a job that no longer fulfills you. You keep trying, keep pushing, keep holding on, only to feel more and more drained. That is because you are fighting against the flow. When something is meant for you, it stays effortlessly. When something is not, no amount of force can keep it. Think of a relationship. Have you ever noticed that when someone truly wants to be with you, they make time, they show up, they put in the effort. But when someone is not meant for you, no matter how much love and energy you give, they remain distant. It is not because you are not enough, it is simply because their energy is flowing in a different direction. And instead of chasing, you must learn to respect that flow. Imagine you are standing in a river. If you try to walk against the current, you will struggle, you will get tired, and eventually you will fall. But if you go with the flow, if you trust where the water is taking you, the journey becomes easy. Life is the same way. Stop forcing, stop clinging, stop chasing. Instead, align yourself with the natural movement of energy, and you will see how effortlessly things start falling into place. Look at the most successful people around you. They do not waste energy forcing doors that refuse to open. They do not beg for attention, love, or opportunities. They move with the flow. If one door closes, they trust that another will open. If someone walks away, they allow it. If something does not work out, they take it as a sign to redirect their energy elsewhere. This is not weakness, this is wisdom. Respecting energy flow also means understanding your own energy. Have you ever walked into a room and immediately felt uncomfortable? Or met someone who drained you without even saying much? That is because energy speaks louder than words. When your energy does not align with a person, a place, or a situation, your body feels it before your mind understands it. But instead of listening, most people ignore these signals. They stay in places that drain them, entertain people who exhaust them, and engage in things that do not serve them. All because they are afraid to let go. But what happens when you let go? When you remove yourself from things that do not align with you, suddenly your energy feels lighter. You feel at peace. You start attracting situations and people that match your frequency. Because the moment you stop resisting, you make space for what is truly meant for you. Nature teaches us this lesson every day. The trees do not hold onto dead leaves. They let them fall so that new ones can grow. The ocean does not cling to waves. It lets them rise and fall naturally. Even the human body respects energy flow. When you breathe in, you must also breathe out. You cannot hold your breath forever. So why do people try to hold on to things that are meant to leave? If something is draining your energy, step back. If something is forcing you to fight for its place in your life, question whether it belongs there at all. Life is not meant to be a constant battle of forcing things to fit. The right people, the right opportunities, the right moments, they will flow to you when you are aligned with your energy. And when you learn to respect this flow, you stop chasing and start attracting. You stop controlling and start trusting. And in that trust, you find true freedom. Imagine walking into a store where everything has a price tag. You see a beautiful diamond ring displayed in a glass case, priced at thousands of dollars. Then, in a dusty corner, you find a pile of cheap trinkets, priced at only a few cents. Now ask yourself, who decided their value? The price tag was not put there by the items themselves. It was placed by the store. But in life, you are the one who decides your worth. If you allow yourself to be treated like a trinket, people will pick you up, use you for a moment, and toss you aside. But if you recognize that you are a diamond, you will only allow yourself to be handled with care, respect, and admiration. Too many people go through life waiting for others to validate them. They seek approval from family, friends, society, or even strangers on social media. They think that if someone loves them, hires them, or praises them, then they are worthy. But this is the greatest mistake one can make. Self-worth is not something others give you, it is something you claim for yourself. The moment you allow the world to define your value, you give away your power. Have you ever seen a person who walks into a room and commands attention without even trying? They do not beg for it, they do not seek approval, yet everyone notices them. Why? Because they know their worth. When you truly believe in yourself, the world reflects that belief back to you. But when you doubt yourself, the world will treat you the same way. Think about a job interview. 2 candidates walk in. One is nervous, unsure of themselves, and desperate for the position. The other walks in with confidence, knowing their skills, knowing their value. Who do you think will get hired? The one who believes in their worth. This is not arrogance. This is the quiet power of self-respect. The world mirrors what you believe about yourself. If you believe you are deserving of great things, you will attract them. If you believe you are not enough, the world will agree. Relationships work the same way. Have you ever seen someone chase after a person who does not respect them? They beg, they plead, they lower their standards just to be loved. And what happens? The more they chase, the less they are valued. But when a person knows their worth, they do not beg for attention. They do not settle for breadcrumbs of love. They walk away from anything that does not honor them. And in doing so, they attract people who see their value. A queen does not chase after people to prove she is royalty. She knows who she is, and because of that, people recognize her presence. You must do the same. Stop waiting for others to tell you that you are valuable. Stop measuring your worth by someone else's opinion. You are already enough, just as you are. But the moment you forget this, the world will too. Self-worth also determines what you tolerate. If you allow people to disrespect you, they will. If you accept less than you deserve, that is all you will ever get. But the moment you say, I will not settle for less than I am worth, everything changes. This applies to friendships, love, every area of life. Have you ever noticed that successful people do not waste time with negativity? They do not entertain toxic relationships, meaningless arguments, or situations that drain them. Why? Because they know their energy is valuable. They protect their time, their peace, and their mind. When you know your worth, you stop explaining yourself to those who are committed to misunderstanding you. You stop shrinking yourself to make others comfortable. You stop seeking validation because you realize that your value does not decrease just because someone fails to see it. Imagine a $100 bill. If you crumple it, step on it, throw it in the dirt, does it lose its value? No. It is still worth $100. The same is true for you. No matter what has happened to you, no matter how many people have tried to tear you down, your worth remains the same. But the question is, do you recognize it? There will always be people who do not see your value. That is not your problem. Your job is not to convince others that you are worthy. Your job is to walk with confidence, knowing that the right people, the right opportunities, and the right experiences will come to those who respect themselves. Stop settling, stop begging, stop allowing the world to dictate what you deserve. The moment you decide that you are enough, everything in your life will rise to meet that belief. Self-worth is not something you find, it is something you choose. And when you choose it, the world has no choice but to respect it. There will be moments in life when someone will hurt you, betray you, or break your trust in ways you never expected. The pain of being wronged by someone you trusted, someone you loved, or someone you once considered a friend can be overwhelming. In those moments, the natural instinct is to seek revenge. The mind tells you, they hurt me, so I must make them feel the same pain. But here is the truth. Revenge is never the answer. When you chase revenge, you are allowing someone else to control your emotions. Think about it. If you spend your time plotting ways to get back at someone, whose energy are you focusing on? Theirs. Instead of living your life, you are stuck in the past, reliving the pain they caused. You become a prisoner of your own anger, carrying a weight that does nothing but drag you down. And the worst part? The person who hurt you may not even care. They have moved on while you are still holding on to the fire of resentment, burning yourself in the process. Imagine someone throws a stone at you. You have two choices. You can pick up the stone and throw it back, or you can use it to build something stronger. If you choose revenge, you are no different from the one who hurt you. You become their mirror, repeating the same cycle of negativity. But if you choose growth, if you use that pain to build resilience, wisdom, and strength, you rise above them. You turn your wounds into wisdom, your heartbreak into power. There is a famous saying, before you embark on a journey of revenge, dig two graves, one for your enemy and one for yourself. Revenge does not bring peace, it brings more suffering. You may think that making someone pay for their actions will heal your pain, but in reality, it only extends it. It keeps you trapped in the same low energy, preventing you from moving forward. True strength is not in hurting someone back. It is in proving that they no longer have power over you. Look at the most successful people in the world. Do they waste their time on revenge? No. They channel their energy into growth. They take their pain and turn it into something great. They let their success be the loudest response to those who doubted them, betrayed them, or tried to bring them down. That is real victory, not in making others suffer, but in proving that they never had the ability to break you. Think of a broken heart. Maybe someone left you without an explanation. Maybe they chose someone else over you. Maybe they betrayed your trust in the worst way possible. The easiest thing to do is to seek revenge, to make them regret losing you, to show them that you can hurt them just as badly. But here is the truth. Your value does not decrease just because someone failed to see it. Your worth does not depend on their choices. And the best way to win is not by seeking revenge, but by rising so high that they become irrelevant. Revenge is an emotional reaction, but growth is a conscious decision. When someone does you wrong, take it as a lesson, not as a command to destroy them. Their actions do not define you. Your response does. Walking away with your dignity, focusing on your growth, and creating a life that makes you proud is the best way to show that you are untouchable. Let's say you were unfairly fired from a job. You could waste months plotting against your former boss, trying to ruin their reputation. Or you could take that time to build something better for yourself, to improve your skills, to find a job that truly values you. And then one day when they see you thriving, they will realize they lost someone great. But by then, you will no longer care, because you will have moved on to better things. In every situation where you are wronged, you have a choice. You can let it consume you, or you can let it fuel you. You can stay bitter, or you can get better. The people who hurt you do not deserve your time, your energy, or your emotions. The best revenge is no revenge. It is showing them that you are above their level, that their actions did not break you, that you are stronger, wiser, and more powerful because of it. The world is full of negativity, but you do not have to add to it. Choose to be different. Choose to rise above. Choose to let your success, your happiness, and your peace be your answer. Because at the end of the day, revenge may bring temporary satisfaction, but true victory is in living a life so fulfilling that you never think about them again. Silence is not emptiness. It is power. In a world where people are desperate to be heard, where voices are constantly shouting over each other, silence becomes the loudest response. It carries a depth that words often fail to express. It is a statement in itself, a force that can shake people more than the loudest argument ever could. Think about it. When someone disrespects you, what do they expect? A reaction. When someone provokes you, what are they hoping for? Your anger. But when you respond with silence, you disrupt their expectations. You strip them of the power they thought they had over you. Nothing unsettles a person more than realizing they no longer have access to your emotions. Have you ever been in an argument where you chose to walk away instead of engaging in a pointless battle of words? That moment, that silence, is more powerful than any comeback. Because when you refuse to engage in unnecessary drama, you are saying, I value my peace more than proving a point. And that in itself is strength. Silence is not weakness. It is the ultimate test of self-control. Weak people react. Strong people observe. The greatest warriors do not waste their energy on unnecessary battles. They know when to speak and when to stay silent. The moment you understand that not everything deserves your reaction, you gain an unshakable power over your life. Imagine someone insulting you, trying to tear you down with their words. You could argue back, trying to prove your worth. Or you could simply smile, say nothing, and walk away. That silence will haunt them more than any insult ever could. Because deep down, people know that when you are truly confident, when you truly know your worth, you do not need to explain yourself to anyone. Silence is also the language of wisdom. The wisest people in the world are often the quietest. Why? Because they listen more than they speak. They observe, they analyze, they understand before they respond. And when they do speak, every word carries weight. But those who constantly talk, who always need to be heard, often say the least meaningful things. Think about nature. The ocean does not need to announce its depth. The mountains do not need to shout to prove their strength. Their silence speaks for them. The same is true for people. The ones who are truly powerful do not waste their energy on meaningless noise. They let their actions, their presence, and their results speak for them. There is also a deep healing power in silence. When you are hurt, betrayed, or disappointed, your first instinct may be to confront, to demand answers, to scream your pain to the world. But have you ever noticed that the most profound healing happens in silence? When you take a step back from the chaos, when you allow yourself the space to breathe, to reflect, to process, that is when true growth happens. Silence gives you clarity, it allows you to hear your own thoughts, to reconnect with yourself, to find the strength that was always within you. Silence is also the greatest answer to those who do not deserve one. If someone ghosted you, betrayed you, walked away from you, the biggest mistake you can make is to chase after them, demanding an explanation. Why? Because the moment you beg for closure, you are giving them power over you. But when you stay silent, when you move forward without a single word, that is when they feel your absence. That is when they realize what they lost. Imagine being in a toxic relationship where someone constantly hurts you, lies to you, or disrespects you. You could argue with them, beg them to change, keep explaining why their actions are wrong. Or you could simply walk away in silence without another word. That silence will echo in their mind far longer than any argument ever could. Because silence says, I do not need you, I do not need to explain myself, I am done. And that is the most powerful statement of all. In the professional world, silence is often a sign of authority. The most respected leaders do not speak unnecessarily. They know that when they do speak, people will listen. Have you ever noticed how in meetings, the person who listens the most and speaks the least is often the one with the most influence? That is because they do not waste their words. When they finally do speak, their voice carries weight. Even in personal growth, silence is key. When you're constantly surrounded by noise, distractions, and opinions, you lose touch with your inner voice. But when you embrace moments of silence, you reconnect with yourself. You gain clarity. You hear the wisdom that was buried beneath the chaos. Silence does not mean weakness. It does not mean submission. It means mastery. It means control. It means understanding that not everything needs a reaction. That not everyone deserves a response. And that sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is say nothing at all. So the next time someone tries to provoke you, the next time life tests you, the next time you feel the urge to prove yourself, pause, breathe, and remember, silence speaks volumes. It carries a power that words never will. It is not the absence of sound, but the presence of strength. And those who understand this will always rise above the noise. You were never meant to be someone's backup plan, someone's second choice, or someone's afterthought. You are not here to wait around for someone to decide your worth. If a person cannot see your value from the beginning, they do not deserve a place in your life. You are not an option, you are a priority. And the sooner you realize that, the sooner you will start living with the respect and dignity you deserve. Think about it. When you walk into a restaurant and order your favorite meal, do you settle for leftovers if they say it is unavailable? No. You either pick another great option or you leave. You do not sit there waiting for scraps. Yet so many people do exactly that in relationships, friendships, and even their careers. They wait for someone to finally acknowledge them, to finally choose them, to finally make them feel important. But the truth is, if someone does not see your worth now, they never truly will. There are people who will treat you like a convenience. They will call you only when they need something. They will remember you only when they are lonely. They will make you feel important for a moment and then disappear when it is no longer convenient for them. And every time you allow this, you are teaching them that it is okay to treat you this way. You are showing them that you are willing to settle for being an option, but you were never born to be anyone's second choice. You were never meant to wait in the background while someone else figures out whether you are worth their time. If a person truly values you, they will make an effort. They will prioritize you. They will not make excuses. They will not keep you guessing. And they will not treat you as something replaceable. Imagine you are holding a diamond in your hand, a rare, priceless gem. Would you ever beg someone to take it from you? Would you chase after someone, pleading with them to recognize its value? No. Because you know that the right person, the right collector, will see it immediately. They will cherish it, protect it, and never take it for granted. That is exactly how you need to see yourself. You are not a disposable object. You are not a choice among many. You are the diamond. Rare, valuable, and irreplaceable. When you start valuing yourself, everything changes. You stop entertaining people who treat you like an afterthought. You stop waiting for someone to notice your worth. You stop making excuses for those who do not make an effort, because you realize that someone who truly cares will show up consistently, without hesitation. Think about the sun. It does not beg anyone to shine. It does not wait for permission. It simply rises every day, spreading its light whether people appreciate it or not. And those who do not see its beauty, it does not chase them. It does not dim itself. It just continues being what it was meant to be. Powerful, radiant, and undeniable. The same applies to you. You do not need to shrink yourself to fit into someone's limited view. You do not need to prove your worth to someone who is blind to it. You do not need to keep knocking on doors that refuse to open. The right people, the ones who truly value you, will never make you feel like you are an option. They will make space for you in their lives without you having to beg for it. But here is the key. People will only treat you the way you allow them to. If you accept being someone's second choice, they will continue making you one. If you keep saying yes to being taken for granted, they will never change. But the moment you decide that you deserve better, that you will no longer settle for less than what you give, everything shifts. Have you ever noticed what happens when you stop chasing? When you stop waiting for someone to treat you right, suddenly the same people who ignored you start noticing your absence. They start wondering why you are no longer available at their convenience. They start realizing what they lost. But by then, you have already moved on to something greater. Because you understand that your value does not decrease just because someone failed to see it. You are not an option. You are not a backup plan. You are not here to fill the empty spaces in someone else's life. You are meant to be cherished, respected, and valued. And the only way to make that happen is to stop settling for anything less. Walk away from those who treat you as replaceable. Choose yourself over those who hesitate about you. And never ever let anyone make you feel like you are anything less than extraordinary. Because the truth is, the right people, the ones who truly deserve you, will never make you feel like an option. They will make you feel like the only choice. When love is real, it does not require you to run after it. It does not make you feel like you have to prove your worth or constantly remind someone that you exist. Real love flows effortlessly. It finds you in your most natural state, embraces you without conditions, and stays without the need for endless pursuit. If you have to chase it, question it, or fight desperately to keep it, then it is not love. It is an illusion, a game, a temporary attachment disguised as something meaningful. Think about the ocean. The waves do not beg the shore to welcome them. They simply come and go, and the shore embraces them naturally. The moon does not chase the stars. They exist in harmony, each respecting the other's space and presence. Love is meant to be the same. When it is right, it does not pull you into an exhausting race where you are always running and never reaching. It meets you, walks beside you, and holds your hand without hesitation. Yet, so many people fall into the trap of chasing love. They hold on to people who keep running away. They send messages that get ignored. They wait for someone to make time for them, while that person is busy making time for everything and everyone else. They lower their standards, compromise their dignity, and bend until they break, all for the hope that maybe, just maybe, one day, that person will see their worth. But love does not work like that. The love that is forced, begged for, or fought for beyond reason is not love. It is an unhealthy attachment. If someone wants you in their life, they will make it clear. If they truly care, they will not leave you guessing. And if they love you, you will never have to chase them down for their attention, time, or respect. Imagine standing in the middle of a field, holding a butterfly in your hands. If you squeeze too tightly, trying to keep it, you will crush it. If you run after it wildly when it flies away, you will exhaust yourself in a race you were never meant to win. But if you stand still, if you are calm and patient, the butterfly may choose to return and rest on your hand. This is love. It stays when it is real. It does not need to be hunted down. Chasing someone who does not see your value is like running after a mirage in the desert. You keep believing that happiness is just within reach, that if you try a little harder, if you prove yourself a little more, you will finally get what you desire. But the truth is, the more you run, the farther it moves away. Love should not make you feel like you are always one step behind, struggling to catch up. Look at the relationships that last, the ones built on deep connection, trust, and mutual respect. They are not defined by constant effort to hold on to someone who keeps slipping away. They are rooted in mutual effort, where both people are willing to stay, to grow, and to nurture what they have without the need for games or tests. Real love is like the sun rising each day. It does not need to be chased. It does not hesitate. It just happens naturally. It is consistent. It is warm. It is undeniable. The right person will never put you in a position where you feel you have to convince them to choose you. They will see your value not just when it is convenient for them, but every single day. If you are constantly trying to make someone stay, ask yourself this. Why do you want someone who does not choose you willingly? Why do you want a love that feels like a battle instead of a safe haven? Love should not leave you feeling exhausted, insecure, or unworthy. Love should not make you question your place in someone's life. The strongest love is the one that chooses to be there, without force, without manipulation, without one-sided effort. It is the love that meets you halfway, without hesitation. It is the love that stands beside you, not just when everything is easy, but even when life gets tough. Let go of the love that demands you to chase it. Let go of the people who make you feel like you have to prove yourself just to earn a place in their world. The moment you stop chasing, the moment you choose yourself, you create space for something real to enter your life. Because real love does not run away. Real love does not hide. Real love does not require a race. It simply stays effortlessly. Pain is a powerful force. It can break you, shape you, or fuel you. But if you let pain lead your steps, it will always take you down the road of regret, anger, and exhaustion. Moving in pain means carrying the weight of your wounds, your disappointments, and your betrayals, letting them dictate your actions, your choices, and your future. But moving in power, that is where transformation happens. That is where you rise, not as a victim of what has happened to you, but as a master of what is yet to come. Think about a person who has been betrayed. Their heart is heavy, their trust is shattered, and their first instinct is often to retaliate, to prove a point, or to close themselves off to the world. This is moving in pain. Every step they take is rooted in the hurt they feel, and instead of healing, they sink deeper into resentment. They replay old conversations, relive past disappointments, and allow their emotions to control their actions. But what if, instead of moving in pain, they chose to move in power? What if, instead of proving something to others, they chose to prove something to themselves? Moving in power means choosing yourself over your wounds. It means looking at everything that has hurt you and deciding that it will not define you. It means waking up each day and choosing growth instead of bitterness. It means walking forward with confidence, not because life has been easy, but because you refuse to let hardship break your spirit. Take the example of fire. If you put your hand into it, it will burn you. If you let the fire consume you, it will turn you into ashes. But if you learn to control the fire, to use its energy, you can create light, warmth, and transformation. Your pain is the same. You can let it burn you, or you can turn it into the fire that fuels your success, your strength, and your future. Many people believe that holding on to pain gives them power. They think that being angry, proving people wrong, or staying guarded will protect them from getting hurt again. But in reality, pain is a trap. The more you hold on to it, the more it holds on to you. It keeps you stuck in the past, replaying the same stories, living in the same fears, and blocking the new blessings that are trying to enter your life. Moving in power means breaking free from that cycle. It means learning the lesson without carrying the burden. It means looking at the people who hurt you and realizing that they do not deserve to control your energy, your peace, or your happiness. It means stepping into every room with confidence, not because you have never been hurt, but because you have refused to let that hurt shrink you. Think about the strongest people you know. They are not the ones who are constantly seeking revenge, dwelling on the past, or carrying a chip on their shoulder. They are the ones who have faced adversity, but instead of letting it define them, they used it as a stepping stone to rise even higher. They do not move in pain, they move in power. Imagine two people going through the same heartbreak. One spends years bitter, mistrusting everyone, and allowing that one experience to shape their entire view of love and life. The other acknowledges the pain, allows themselves to grieve, but then stands back up, stronger, wiser, and more determined than ever to create a life of joy and abundance. One stays stuck in the past, the other moves forward with power. Which one do you want to be? Every time life knocks you down, you have a choice. You can move in pain, blaming, regretting, resenting, or you can move in power, understanding that everything that happens to you is either a lesson or a blessing. Either way, it is shaping you into something greater. You do not need to carry the past on your shoulders. You do not need to prove your worth to those who fail to see it. You do not need to live in the shadow of your wounds. Step out, stand tall, walk with power. Because pain only wins when you let it. But when you choose power, there is nothing that can break you. Life is not about luck, coincidence, or random chance. It is a reflection of what you put out into the world. The energy you carry, the choices you make, and the mindset you hold all shape the reality that unfolds before you. If you move through life with doubt, fear, and negativity, life will mirror those back to you. But if you carry confidence, discipline, and gratitude, life will meet you with opportunities, growth, and abundance. Imagine a farmer planting seeds. He does not just throw them carelessly into the soil and expect a harvest overnight. He selects the best seeds, plants them with care, waters them daily, and protects them from weeds. He puts in the work, knowing that nature will reward his effort. But if he neglects the land, if he plants the wrong seeds, or fails to take care of them, he cannot blame the universe when his fields remain barren. Life works the same way. What you sow, you reap. What you deserve is not based on what you wish for, but on what you work for, what you believe in, and what you consistently align yourself with. Many people go through life wondering why they are not getting what they want. They complain that life is unfair, that success is for the lucky, that love only finds certain people. But when you look deeper, you see a pattern. The person who keeps experiencing heartbreak often ignores red flags, settles for less, or fails to love themselves first. The person who struggles with money makes reckless financial decisions, fears investing in themselves, or refuses to step out of their comfort zone. The person who never feels happy surrounds themselves with negativity, toxic relationships, or a mindset that focuses only on what is lacking. Life is always listening. It observes what you tolerate, what you accept, and what you believe you deserve. If you allow people to mistreat you, life will keep sending you the same lessons until you learn to set boundaries. If you keep avoiding hard work, life will keep showing you struggle until you learn discipline. If you keep doubting yourself, life will reflect that doubt in missed opportunities and setbacks. But the beautiful thing is this: at any moment you can change what you deserve. You do not have to stay stuck in old patterns. You do not have to accept a reality that does not fulfill you. If you want more, you must become more. If you want love, you must embody love. If you want success, you must embrace the habits, mindset, and discipline of successful people. Life does not give handouts, but it does reward those who take responsibility for their growth. Think of a person who constantly complains that they never get ahead. They see others achieving their dreams and feel envious. They tell themselves that life is against them, that others are just lucky. But when you look at their habits, you see someone who avoids risks, who procrastinates, who chooses comfort over growth. Now think of another person who started with nothing but refused to settle. They invested in themselves, stayed consistent, and never allowed failures to break their spirit. Over time, life rewarded their effort because they showed up for themselves. Life is not waiting to punish or bless you. It simply responds to you. If you feel like you are always getting the short end of the stick, ask yourself, what am I putting out into the world? What standards am I setting for myself? What patterns am I repeating? Life does not bring what you wish for. It brings what you work for, what you believe in, and what you are willing to claim as your own. Even in the hardest times, there is an opportunity to shift. Every setback carries a lesson. Every loss creates space for something better. But if you spend your time blaming, doubting, or resisting change, you block the very blessings that are trying to reach you. Life is not happening to you, it is responding to you. And the moment you start carrying yourself with the energy of someone who deserves better, life will rise to meet you. You deserve what you believe you deserve. Nothing more, nothing less. So choose wisely, move wisely, and watch life align with the person you decide to become. Life is not your enemy, nor is it your savior. It is simply a mirror, reflecting back the choices you make, the energy you carry, and the standards you set for yourself. If you want greatness, you must walk like greatness. If you want respect, you must first respect yourself. If you want love, you must become love. The world does not move because of your wishes, it moves because of your will. And those who understand this never sit around waiting for life to change. They rise up and command it to. You must remember, the universe does not respond to excuses, complaints, or victimhood. It responds to power, resilience, and belief. The people who thrive in this world are not always the smartest, the most talented, or the luckiest. They are simply the ones who refuse to accept less than what they know they deserve. They wake up every day and act as if success is already theirs, as if love is already present, as if abundance is already flowing, and because they do, life eventually bends to their will. Some will tell you that fate is fixed, that what happens is beyond your control, but those who truly live know this one truth. You are not a pawn in this game of life. You are the player. You decide how the story unfolds. You decide how high you rise, how far you go, and how much you claim. And that decision is not made once. It is made every single day, in every single moment, with every single action. You cannot afford to wait for a perfect moment, for a sign, for permission. The doors you seek will not open because you knock politely. They will open because you kick them down with conviction. Stop shrinking yourself to fit spaces that were never meant for you. Stop begging for love, opportunities, or validation. You are not here to chase, you are here to attract. And the only way to do that is to become the kind of person who deserves everything they desire. If life is not bringing you what you want, ask yourself, are you stepping up or are you stepping back? Are you moving in power or are you moving in doubt? Because life will only rise to meet you when you rise to meet yourself. The world does not give you what you ask for. It gives you what you demand through your energy, your actions, and your unwavering belief. So stand tall, speak with certainty, walk as if you are already standing in the life you deserve. Because the moment you do, life has no choice but to align itself with the force of your will. Do not wait for life to bring you what you seek. Go out there and claim it. Because those who know their worth never settle, never chase, and never beg. They command, they create, they conquer. And so will you.